Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Libag from the Philippines. First of all, I would like to thank the Eco-Asia for inviting me to be part of the Eco-Asia Agriculture Adoption Innovation Symposium. I am representing SEED Project, where SEED or SEED stands for Something to Eat Every Day. SEED Project is a non-profit organization teaching organic home gardening and natural farming technology. SEED Project is started in 2000 in Nepal, where we train church planters and pastors to grow their own food. We establish garden and raise farm animals to some orphanages and Bible schools for them to become self-sufficient on their daily food requirement while doing the ministry. Currently, we partner with different private Christian organizations from different parts of Asia. We focus our training on empowering church leaders to grow their own food, as well as learning agriculture as a tool for evangelism. We train pastors to become trainers on their own community. SEED Project also involves in many disaster relief programs, particularly here in the Philippines. With our partnership with Samaritan's Purse Canada, we do food relief, water filtration, distribution of vegetable seeds and planting materials, and teaching organic home gardening as immediate disaster response activity. According to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Service Administration, or PAG-ASA, an average of 20 tropical cyclones crossing the country every year. The peak of the typhoon season is from July through October. Because of the typhoon, Philippines' economy suffered so much. Agriculture is the main livelihood of the majority of the Filipinos and always affected by typhoon. Typhoon brings strong wind, floods, and landslides that destroys fruit orchards, coconuts, crops, and many houses and building establishments were destroyed or damaged. This brings many families grow hungry. My presentation today is about Coconut Replanting Initiative, a cyclone relief response for food security. On November 8, 2013, winds raged of the highest speed of 315 km per hour or 195.73 miles per hour through eastern Visayas, provinces of the central region of the Philippines. Typhoon Haiyan, or locally known Typhoon Yolanda, the worst typhoon on global record, displaced 4 million people and claimed 6,340 lives with a record of 1,074 missing. It was recorded to have a total damage of $4.55 billion. Why Coconut Replanting Program? The Philippines is the world's second largest producer of coconut products after Indonesia. In 1989, it produces 11.8 million tons. The production of coconut from July to September 2021 is 4.08 million metric ton, and it was recorded that it's improving. About 26% of cultivated land was planted in coconut trees in 2015. And it is estimated that 25 to 33% of Filipinos, around 33 million Filipinos, partly dependent on coconuts for their livelihood. Coconuts is also registered the highest gain in production this year compared to products such as rice, corn, sugarcane, and others. Before the Typhoon Haiyan, Eastern Visayas was one of the centers of coconut production. Eastern Visayas is located in the central part of the Philippines and comprises the provinces of Biliran, Leyte, Southern Leyte, Northern Samar, and Eastern Samar. The Typhoon Haiyan destroyed around 33 million coconut trees in 2013 and destroyed another 200,000 coconut trees in 2015 after the Typhoon Ruby, impacting over 1 million farmers. The province of Eastern Samar is the target beneficiary of the Coconut Replanting Program in partnership of SEED Project Asia Philippines and Samaritan's Purse Canada. According to the Philippines Statistic Authority, natural calamities have made Eastern Visayas as the country's poorest region in the country. It was recorded that the province of Eastern Samar recorded the highest poverty incidence among population at 52%. Seed Project assessment to the effect of Haiyan in Eastern Samar and Leyte. A month after Typhoon Haiyan, our team from Seed Project visited Eastern Visayas and made assessment and planned for a long-term response. We were introduced to a local pastor in Hiporlos, Eastern Samar, and discussed with him about the situation of the province after the typhoon. Traveling from Tacloban City, the capital city of the province of Leyte, to Hiporlos, Eastern Samar, there is an indescribable scenery of the damage from the houses, farms, and even forests. It looks like a war zone, or a giant monster ate all the plants and destroyed all trees. This region was covered by coconut trees before the typhoon, and the main source of the income of the people is from coconut. Majority of the people were so worried about their livelihood. People were depressed, does not know how they could survive after the devastation. During that time, many were working in some relief agency and even to the local government for cash for work program, a temporary job such as clearing and cleaning their roads. However, they knew this is not sustainable. While talking with the local people about their livelihood, planting coconut were the last option. According to them, it will take 10 to 15 years to harvest from date of planting. Since majority of the farmers are elderly, they were not encouraged to plant coconuts again. They were discouraged that they do not see a good future of the coconut industry and even its benefit for the next generation. Seed Project came up of an idea to introduce coconut replanting program to Eastern Samar. Since people were not encouraged to plant coconuts, we discovered that there are early fruiting coconut varieties available in the country. Coconut varieties such as Takunan and Java are locally available. These coconuts will start bearing fruit as early as 5 years after planting. We were able to locate resources, especially where to gather and procure coconut nuts or coconut saplings. After presenting this idea to the local people in the community, they immediately embraced it. With the village partners, they were willing to walk alongside us in planning and implementing this project. A community assessment team were formed. They were responsible in gathering data to different communities on the level of devastation from the Typhoon Haiyan. Their job is also to identify qualified beneficiaries. These are the farmers whose land or coconut farm were destroyed. After meeting with community leaders and some of the target beneficiaries, the assessment team will recommend for agriculture training. Seed training. SEED stands for Something to Eat Every Day, or Seed Training is a seminar and workshop on basic home gardening and natural farming. Seed Project mobilized our junior trainers from different regions in the island of Luzon, particularly from Quezon Province and the province of Sorsogon, to provide trainings on organic home gardening and natural farming techniques. These trainers are a group of pastors who are agriculture practitioners and at the same time equipped church planters. As part of the requirement for the target beneficiaries, they need to complete the 3 days training on agriculture. Failed to complete this process will be eliminated from the list. During the training, the beneficiaries learn about different techniques such as land preparation, making organic fertilizers, pest control, and seed saving. They also learn how to do gardening, planning, and management of nursery. During the gardening training, gospel was preached and challenged people to accept Christ as their Lord and Savior. Majority of them accepted the Lord during the training. After completing the gardening training, the beneficiary will identify the land area and how many coconut saplings to be planted. A maximum of 200 coconut saplings will be given to a beneficiary, and this will be planted in 2 hectares or equivalent of 5 acres of land. It depends to the land area of a beneficiary. The assessment team will validate it for approval. We formed a team that was responsible for clearing the land. The team used chainsaw to cut damaged coconuts and remove them from the land, as these are susceptible for insect to nest. Most of the damaged coconuts were made into cocoa lumber and used in building shelters. The beneficiary was required to prepare their land for planting, making or digging holes where the coconut saplings will be planted. Before the coconut saplings will be delivered to the beneficiary, the assessment team have to check and validate it again. Failed to prepare their land will delay the delivery of coconut saplings to them or even cancel their application. With 3 to 5 leaves and at least a height of 30 centimeters, coconut saplings from nursery will be delivered to the farmers. We have a tricycle used to deliver coconut saplings to near villages, while we use trucks to deliver coconut saplings to other municipalities. Coconut saplings should be planted within 15 days after delivery. Failed to plant within 15 days, coconut saplings will be retrieved and it will be given to those farmers who already prepared their land and ready to plant. In some cases, we consider those farmers failed to plant due to sickness or even heavy rains or other valid reasons. Every 3 months, the assessment team will visit the beneficiary and his or her farm. The team will recommend whether there is a need for coconut saplings replacement or need to control pests. During monitoring activity, not only the assessment team interview the farmer beneficiary, they also conduct ocular visit to the newly planted coconuts. The following are the reasons of coconut mortality. Lack of water. Due to a far distance from the village and a long period of drought, the coconut saplings will be dried up. With this problem, we encourage the farmers to put some mulch, like dried leaves, around the base of the plant to control water evaporation and protect the plant from growing weeds. Overgrown weeds. Negligence on the side of the farmers to monitor and visit their farm. It was encouraged that they will protect their coconut saplings by putting mulch around the base of the plant and continue to clear their land. Landslide. After the Typhoon Haiyan, there are still other typhoons followed, and some of them brought heavy rains and flood. Eastern Samar, although it is coastal province, also a mountainous region. Bushfire. During long period of drought, many land areas covered with dried bushes, especially on hillsides. Farmers practice burning after clearing weeds. However, some of these fires were unattended overnight that caused bushfire across the farm. There was also instances of throwing burning cigarette. Farmers were encouraged to also clear their land and remove overgrown grasses and weeds. Animal attack. Some farm animals like goats and cattle ate some of the coconut saplings, especially when these animals were unleashed. Therefore, these kinds of animals should stay away from the coconut saplings, or they may put some fence or guard every coconut saplings by putting some net or bamboo basket around the plant. In some places, there are wild animals like wild boars and monkeys attack the coconut saplings. This is beyond the control of the farmers. Insect infestation. The whole region of Eastern Visayas are suffering from insect infestation that cause the leaves of the coconuts turn into brown and even dried up. we made a policy for coconut replacement in case their plant died. We do not replace coconut saplings died from lack of water and overgrown weeds, as this indicates negligence in the part of the farmer. We also do not replace coconuts from landslide, as there is no other place to plant them. From the farm that was damaged from the bushfire, we replaced the coconuts. However, the farmers should prepare the land again and assured us that they will clean their farm often. We did not replace coconuts. Saplings died from animal attack, especially that these areas do not have fence for protection. We encourage the farmers to tie their farm animals and visit their farm often to avoid wild animals to come to their farm. There was a high mortality rate within farm infested with coconut scale insect, or locally known as cocolizap. Cocolizap is recorded in tropical and subtropical regions worldwide and is present in nearly all countries where coconuts are grown. It is also known as armored scale, transparent scale, bourbon scale, and sometimes called red flies. Cocolizap infests stems, branches, leaf petioles, leaves, and fruits of their host plant. It is found mostly to undersides of the leaves. We are promoting organic and natural farming method. We encourage the farmers to apply natural methods to control the pest. There are a few natural remedies farmers applied to their coconuts. First, after the first sign of cocolizap infestation to their coconut farm, farmers immediately applied a smoking method. The farmers gathered leaves, burned them, and created smoke. It was their belief that smoke can drive out insects, even the cocolizap. Another method is administering Oriental Herbal Nutrient, or OHN, from the natural farming method. Farmers learned to make OHN from garlic and herbal extracts with molasses or brown sugar. Unfortunately, both of these methods shows no effect in controlling cocolizap. Thus, we made an immediate response by consulting Philippine Coconut Authority, or PCA, for recommendation. PCA recommended that we need to administer chemical pesticide to save newly planted coconut saplings. Therefore, we formed another team responsible for pest control. Spraying chemical pesticide to save coconut sapling was our last option. We do hope that in the near future, a research will be done on natural remedies or natural pesticide that can control cocolizap. Perhaps some of us in the audience can give us recommendation towards controlling scale insect or cocolizap. It was then a daily activity in spraying chemical pesticide only to those affected and suspected farms by cocolizap. In 2018, we revised our method since most of the coconuts are already grown and started bearing fruit. Only those who have a problem of an insect pest will come to our office and apply for chemical pesticides. This will be validated and the damage was assessed before the farmer will be given appropriate dosage or amount of chemical pesticides. Note that when the coconut tree is at 3 years old or more, we no longer apply chemical insecticide. There is no doubt that God used Samaritan Spurs and Seed Project made a great impact to the spiritual life of the people in Eastern Samar, or those who affected by the Typhoon Haiyan. This project is in partnership with the local church, CLSF, or Christ the Living Stone Fellowship, headed by Pastor Bonifacio Susing. As a Christian organization, we're helping people in Jesus' name. Our main mission is not only meeting the immediate physical and socio-economic needs of the beneficiary, but also to share to them the gospel, the good news of hope in Jesus Christ. The people in Eastern Samar are called waray-waray. They are often stereotyped as brave warriors, as popularized in the tagline, "Basta ang waray, hindi uurong sa away." In English, waray never back down from a fight. On the contrary, people are living in fear. Sickness and calamities are believed as an act of the devil, trying to punish them for their sins or wrongdoings. Farming and fishing are the main livelihood of the people in Eastern Samar, or Eastern Visayas. In the entire cropping season, from land preparation up to post-harvest, the farmers perform rituals, invoking the nature spirits and ancestor spirits for a good harvest and no harm for their family. Fisherfolk likewise ask permission for the water spirits for safety and a good catch. The church partner in Hiporlos Eastern Samar, Christ the Living Stone Fellowship, was started in October 1987. Before the Typhoon Haiyan, the church struggled to win people to Christ. There are average of 35 members before Typhoon Haiyan. To this date, churchgoers reached up to 350 and planted 5 new churches. It is evident how the Lord used the local church, Seed Project, and Samaritan Spurs Canada in expanding the kingdom of God in this region. People in Eastern Samar are partly depressed about the outcome of the Typhoon Haiyan that destroyed coconut trees, their livelihood. Identifying beneficiaries are not that easy. There are few factors we considered. First is the collection or gathering personal information in identifying beneficiaries. Second is the approach, how can we facilitate community organizing and how people will embrace the replanting project. Seed Project and the local partner CLSF was identified as religious group. Many communities were hesitant working with us simply because we are evangelical Christians. The Roman Catholics are the majority, and for them, evangelicals are a threat in terms of people converting. The mayor of Hiporlos during that time was not supportive. Even though our project office was based in Hiporlos, this is the last municipality that embraced the project. The main reason is that Seed Project hired an ex-mayor and ex-vice mayor who is rival of the current mayor in the politics. As Hiporlos is not that ready yet to receive this project, we started in neighboring towns or municipalities. Because our assessment team were former politicians, one challenge is that they could hardly initiate community meetings to places where the community leaders were not allied in their politics. It is very important to partner with the local authorities. So we have the access to their master's list of barangay captains or chieftain, and even information on how much damage the Typhoon Haiyan did to their municipality. The local government have a separate assessment to the damage of the typhoon, and they could be the best agency to recommend farmers, beneficiaries who were greatly affected. This also create or build a good rapport to the local leaders. These leaders need to understand first the benefit of our project to their constituents. Then we request them recommendation to go to barangays or villages with permission to conduct the survey and assessment. We started communicating the project to the local farmers. They were very skeptical to the promise of giving them coconut saplings in replacement of the damage from their farm. During that time, many people lost confidence to PCA, or Philippine Coconut Authority, because what they promised of giving them coconuts to plant and some assistance never happened. They thought that we are working with Philippine Coconut Authority. This was resolved when they finally discovered that we are not from any government agency. One significant challenging experience for seed project is to locate where to buy the planting material. We look for the coconut variety that is early fruiting and also not that expensive, or the cheapest supplier. The first coconut seedlings were purchased in Bicol region. Unfortunately, we are not allowed by PCA to transport these coconut seedlings to Eastern Samar, simply because of the issue on the coconut scale insect or the cocolizab. We located a supplier of coconut seedlings to Cadiz City or Negros Occidental, 417.4 kilometers away from Hiporlos, from a different island, southern part of the Philippines. We ordered 13,000 but gave us 14,456 coconut seedlings. These were the first delivery we received. It is our agreement to the supplier to give us an additional 10% of the coconuts purchased, anticipating for its mortality. These coconuts were Takunan variety. Another variety is the Javanica, where we located the source in Agusan del Sur. Seed Project does not have the capacity to monitor the coconut nuts from its source. Although before we purchased from them, our assessment team traveled to Agusan del Sur to validate the variety of coconuts to be delivered. Since we do not have close monitoring in gathering the nuts, and the nuts are being collected from different farms, many of the coconut nuts delivered in our nursery was not able to sprout because they are not fully matured. Those nuts that were not sprouted were processed into copra. It was an agreement with the supplier to replace all the nuts that were not sprouted. On their next deliveries, they become more aware of it and make sure all the nuts delivered were matured. Once qualified for distribution, these coconuts were delivered to the beneficiary. But once they were not able to plant within 15 days, this will be reclaimed and will be given to another beneficiary. This requires visitation and monitoring activities. The challenge of this is that some of the farmers does not want to surrender the coconut saplings. Because of this, we made an agreement form for the beneficiary to agree all the requirements and conditions from planting to harvesting. For harvesting, beneficiary should give back at least 10 coconut nuts, a planting material, to Seed Project. Probably at this point, we will be able to claim the 10 coconut nuts for planting. It is our commitment to walk along with the farmers or beneficiary until they will have good harvest. This includes providing assistance to problems they encountered. One of the major problems is the pest infestation. Pest control was a daily activity, and for every coconut planted, there is a need to be sprayed twice a year. Since most of the farm are located far from the access of road, our pest control team have to carry their equipment and walk for many hours to get to the farm. Pest control was only administered if there is a good sunny weather. We have delayed pest control activity during rainy season. After 3 years, we no longer have regular staff in doing pest control. Only if there is a problem on pest. The farmer will go to our office and request for pesticide, and they will be the one to spray it on their coconuts. Currently, we are no longer administering pest control using chemical insecticide. It has been 7 years since we started the distribution of coconut sapling to those affected by the Typhoon Haiyan. There are a total of 929 family beneficiaries who received and planted 106,300 109 coconut saplings, covered a total number of 1,063 hectares or 2,627 acres land area. There are 10 municipalities benefited from this coconut replanting program, namely Hiporlos, Balangiga, Kinapundan, MacArthur, Laawan, Marabut, Giwan, Salcedo, and Hernani. Coconut beneficiaries in Hiporlos organized themselves and created the Seed Hiporlos Farmers and Fisherfolk Association and registered to the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE. Having recognized Farmers and Fisherfolk Association by the government, the group received assistance such as composting facility, particularly the vermicomposting using the African night crawlers. Another assistance given to this group was the production of babuyang walang amoy, or the odorless pig farm, a deep litter system on pig farming adapted from natural farming technology. The group awarded 50 fattening pigs to start their business. After 7 years, some of the coconuts planted are now bearing fruits. Some of the farmers are producing some products such as virgin coconut oil and coconut wine from coconut nectar. They also learn how to make ice cream and other coconut food products. This means some of the farmers are already earning additional income from their newly planted coconuts. Today, we just completed our coconut processing facility, catering the coconut beneficiaries to process their coconuts into a high-valued product. We partnered with PhilMec, or Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization, in providing us machineries for processing coconut water, the byproduct of matured coconut nuts. This byproduct will be processed into a healthy and nutritious energy drink. PhilMec will also help the Farmers Association by providing technical support like training and marketing of their products. Let us listen to some of their testimonies.
Ako po si Pastor Bonifacio Susing, pastor ng Christ the Living Stone Fellowship dito sa Hiporlos, Eastern Samar. Ako po ang Area Project Manager ng Coconut Replanting Program. Nang dahil dito, noong Yolanda, nasira ang kabuhayan ng mga tao. Ang karamihan ng kabuhayan nila ay dahil sa niyog. At dahil nasira ang kabuhayan nila, naghirap ang mga tao ng gusto. Ngunit nung dumating ang ating ayuda sa kanila na nagbibigay tayo ng mga punla ng niyog, nagkaroon muli sila ng panibagong pag-asa. At dahil doon, ngayon, mayroon ng mga nakakapag-harvest ng kanilang mga prutas ng niyog at yung iba naman ginagawa nilang tuba na siyang nakakatulong na sa kanilang mga kabuhayan ngayon. At maging ang iba nakakapagpaaral sa kanilang mga estudyante nang dahil sa niyog na ating naibigay sa kanila. Maraming salamat po.
Okay.
Ang tanim ko po ay itong mga niyog para magkaroon ng kabuhayan ang aking mga anak sa susunod na mga panahon. Kami po, nung magkaroon ng Yolanda dito sa aming kalagayan, ay kami napakahirap kami makabangon. Pero sa dahan-dahan, sa palagay ko, makakabangon din kami. Nakatulong itong programa ninyo, ay pinagkaloob ninyo sa amin dahil nawalan kami ng mga niyog, wala na kaming maitanim. Ngayon, nagkaroon kami ng pananim dahil nabigyan kami Handseed Project. Kaya ito unti-unti, tumagal na mas 6 na taon, malapit na rin mamunga ang amin mga tanim. bigay sa seed project. Mabuti na lang natulungan kami. Kung hindi kami natulungan, wala kami ng pananim. Dahil naubos ang pananim namin sa Yolanda.
I am so grateful to have the opportunity to share with you about this journey of distributing coconut saplings as an initiative to respond on helping those who are affected by the natural disasters such as typhoon or cyclone. We are indeed facing a lot of challenges on food security and global hunger. Farmers have the land, have the ability to produce good quality crops and farm produce to feed us. However, in the context of the Philippines, many farmers are suffering due to the unexpected natural calamities such as typhoon that oftentimes cause a massive devastation to their livelihood. Farmers are trying their best to become resilient to these calamities. Unfortunately, no one predicted what happened tomorrow and how strong the damage of the storm will be. Recently, last December of 2021, another super typhoon named Typhoon Rai, or locally known as Typhoon Odette, hit the central part of the Philippines and left a damage of around 1.02 billion US dollars. Most of the damage are from agriculture sector. According to the United Nations, 13 million of people affected. Listening to the cry of the people, giving them food and clean water that makes them survive for a few days, providing them shelter for the next 2 months, these are not enough. We need to act. We need to look on sustainable program that can elevate them from disparate situation into a normal good life. We value partnership from private, local, and government agencies and organizations in helping those who are in need. Good and improved agriculture program promotes food security, provide jobs, and preserve the environment. With the coconut replanting program, these may contribute to the small portion of the country, but definitely brought inspiration and model for those who wish to help others. In behalf of the whole family of Seed Project Asia Philippines, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to be part of the Eco-Asia Agriculture Adoption Innovation Symposium. God bless.